book 2, it talked about the method of taking on others' suffering and transforming our own suffering and kind of sending out compassion to others. And I just was very curious about that. So I gave it a try, it's because then I was lying in bed crying for about a week, right? Like, I feel so sorry for myself. I'm the only person who's ever had a broken heart.
In the history of the world.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, no, everybody gets their heart broken.
That's right.
So lying in bed, I started to think about all the other people with broken hearts. And somehow that made me feel like, oh, yeah, I'm not alone. And I had just had the thought, if I can make this suffering something meaningful or fruitful, that might help. And it did. So after about a week, I kind of picked myself up, and then I went back to Singapore. So I did all these visualizations per what the book said, right? Visualize, okay, you take on other suffering, right? It destroys your self-centeredness, you send light out. For the first step, just recognizing I am not alone in having a broken heart, Everybody goes through this at some point.
That's right.
Then I went back to Singapore and I was interning with the Necessary Stage. And they sent me on this project to go and interview different migrant workers to collect their stories. And I happened to work with a group of women who were abused workers. And this is the Humanitarian Organization for Migration Economics, HOME, started by Bridget Lew, which is in it and of itself is its own amazing story. But so I started to go to this shelter and I would interview the women, and then I started running arts workshops with them. And then I was like, wow, my suffering compared to what they have gone through, paying up all this debt. They get into debt to get a job placement. They don't get paid for months, right? You get abused by your employer. You cannot run away. They had just been through so much. And I thought, well, what little broken heart suffering I have is really nothing compared to what they're going through. And just focusing on them really helped me to pick myself up.
Wow.
So in that way, right, it was like, what His Holiness described is true.
That's right.
So that opened a small, because before this I had never ever thought about religion. I was not at all interested. I thought it was like for weak-minded people or whatever, right, who don't think for themselves, go and join groups and sing songs on Sunday, whatever. So I was like, okay, something's different about this. And in the